This is the Chefpreneur podcast, where we inspire professional cooks to take on greater risk to build a personal chef business for themselves. Now, here's your host, Andres Hinojosa.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Chefpreneur podcast. My name is Andres Hinojosa and I am your host. I want to say again, thank you guys so much for supporting this podcast. We've hit over our 3,000 download mark, so I'm really excited about that. I want you guys to keep sharing it wherever you can on Facebook, through Instagram, Twitter. Just keep sharing our podcast. Also, you can subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or Google Play Music. So make sure you're subscribing to the program so you can tune in every single week where we just, give you great valuable content to be able to help you start your own personal chef business. So I'm really excited and I'm really appreciative of all your guys' support. So thank you once again. Today's podcast episode is going to be a little different. So I like to approach, just educating, inspiring, and motivating all, you all. But I really wanted to kind of as well give you kind of a glimpse into the life of a personal chef. Now, I've been a personal chef for over almost 5 years now, but I've been in the industry for over 16 years. And I will say that I've been able to experience some insane, crazy, cool stuff being a personal chef that obviously you can't do when you're working in hotels and restaurants and wherever else you're working. So I've got to experience some really, really cool things, worked with some really amazing clients, and to be honest with you, lived kind of like a billionaire at times without having $1 billion. So I'm definitely not a billionaire, and I've been able to experience some things that are just really, really cool. So I wanted to kind of focus on today's podcast on just kind of giving you guys a glimpse into the life of being a personal chef and just giving you basically a comparison to what your life is and where you are right now in your career and what you're doing in the hotel or the restaurant or the, catering company or the corporate, setting that you're working in. And what I'm going to do is just kind of give you that really cool, I guess you would say, wow factor of being a personal chef and getting to travel to different parts of the United States and even the world and having some really just us having some fun. So I wanted to share with some of these crazy stories I have with you. And I'll be honest with you, it's a little bit more of an entertaining podcast today, but it's still going to give you an insight of what's really cool and possible being a personal chef. So since I started my business about 4.5 years ago, I've been able to be blessed by getting in with some great strategic partnerships that have allowed me to meet some clients that are extremely wealthy. And, most people that are, making decent money can really hire a personal chef. At the end of the day, it's very comparable to going out to a restaurant. But there has been clients that I've worked for and worked with that have really just been able to give me some experiences that I would not normally have. Right. So I wanted to share one story in particular with you that, as a strategic partner with a certain hotel here in San Diego, a certain resort, I met a certain family. They were from Malibu, and I met this family. And, the hotel called me up, said that they had a family staying in the hotel and wanted basically a chef to come in. They prefer all organic. So they wanted somebody on the personal chef side to really be able to cater what they needed, go out and shop for the best quality organic ingredients. So, the front desk, they're my strategic partnership. They're a partner of mine. This hotel refers me personally a lot of business, my company, Dinner with a Chef. So they called me up. They said, Chef, we got this family in house. We want to, put you guys in contact with their assistant and set up, maybe they want, a meal in their suite that they're staying. They were renting actually this beautiful, huge home on property that's, 4 bedrooms, has its own pool. I don't even know how much money it is. It's like $4,000 or $5,000 a night. It's ridiculous. And I said, absolutely. So I called the assistant. They, set me up. I ended up coming in. I believe the first night I cooked, they wanted pork chops and they wanted like those thick cut pork chops with like a beautiful risotto and some vegetables and a beautiful salad. And they wanted to kind of serve family style. And like I said, they wanted everything organic. So I'm shopping at Whole Foods and getting the groceries. I show up to the home and they end up loving my food, right? I cook for them. I clean the whole kitchen down. I cook for them and they end up loving my food. Now, here's the crazy part. I didn't find out till later that the hotel, I guess, has already sent one of their own chefs to service them, but they were not happy. I don't know if it was more of the groceries, because they did check some of the receipts to make sure they were organic, because they're paying for it and they want the best of the best. So they loved my food, and in fact, they booked me for the next 3 nights while at the hotel. And I was charging them a pretty penny, right? So as time went on, actually, after they checked out and a couple weeks later, they ended up calling me back and saying, "Hey, would you be open to traveling to Hawaii with us?" And I was like, yeah, I could do that. Now, I have a wife, and I have, at the time I had 3 children at the time. Now I have 4. And, I don't want to leave my family, but it's a pretty cool experience to be able to travel, go to Hawaii, and go cook for someone, right? So I ended up, connecting with them, and drove up to Malibu, and we ended up leaving from their home to go to the airport. And let's just say, of course, we flew privately, right? So here I am in a private plane on my way to Kauai, and we land there, and the house that they're, staying in is completely beautiful, and it's right there on the front of Hanalei Bay, and it's just this picturesque, beautiful area. And I mean, yeah, it was hot. I will say it was hot, but it was so much fun, right? I was able to just kind of dive in, and of course they want the best of the best ingredients. So I was going to the farmers markets on the island and got to meet some really great people on the island, and just started feeling like I was a local. And I was there for, I believe the first time I was there for only a week. And it, ever since then, they've actually brought me to Hawaii, I believe now 4 times. And they've even, they've taken me to Whistler, Canada. They've taken me down to Ixtapa in Mexico. I've been to Pennsylvania with them. So, I've kind of traveled around with them. They wanted me to go last year to Taiwan with them, but unfortunately I was already pretty booked up, and I wasn't able to make it. But, what's really cool is that, when we went to Whistler, which was, I believe, last year, we were able to fly privately into Vancouver. When we get to Vancouver at the airport, and, the client was like, how much would it, just be like, can we take a helicopter to Whistler? I believe it's like a 2.5-hour drive. And if anybody's ever been up there in Vancouver area in BC, it's pretty windy road all the way up to Whistler. And so we were able to actually lock down a helicopter, which would have been my first time in a helicopter. And so this helicopter was massive. I mean, it was a beautiful helicopter. We got all of our luggage in the back. We loaded everyone up, and we just took off right there. I mean, literally our private plane pulled up about, 50 or 100 feet or so from the helicopter. The crew just loaded everything from the private plane to the private helicopter. And within a matter of 3 minutes, we took off. Now, I was a little bit, anxious, to be honest, when I was starting to go up to, in the helicopter. It's a very weird feeling. So it took me a little bit of time to get acclimated to it. But man, once we were about 3,000 feet in the air, we were just soaring. And it was so gorgeous to see the city of Vancouver and the whole, kind of skyline per se of it. And then we were going through the valley all the way up to Whistler, and I'm starting to see these beautiful, there's just snow-covered mountains everywhere. I'm starting to see skiers. And about 22 minutes later, literally, we land, and we have our Suburbans and our SUVs waiting for us. We loaded them up and went to the house, and, and the house, I got my own room, of course, in this beautiful home they rented. And I mean, it was just amazing, right, Panra? And I'm not going to, brag about, how much money I made per day, but let's just say it's a very decent wage, okay? I mean, it was more than $700 a day. Let's just put it that way. So, here I am, being able to fly in helicopters, fly in private planes, and earn really good money. And I'm not trying to say this to all, to all of you to brag. I just kind of want to give you the glimpse of like, what being a personal chef is like, right? I don't have any holds bar on the level of product and where I can shop. In fact, there's a lot of times I try to hit up the farmer's market. Of course, that particular instance in Whistler, of course, I wasn't hitting up farmers markets because, it was the dead of, January. So it was wintertime. But I was able to hit up the best grocery stores, these little quaint, beautiful markets where you're just getting the highest grade organic beef and vegetables. And, the same in Hawaii, I was able to just shop at all the farmers markets, with really no budget. I just, these clients wanted me to give them the best of the best. And that's what I did. So, I've had some really cool experiences. I cannot complain. When we went down to Mexico, the same clients ended up renting me a house on the beach about 6 houses down from them. And when I mean renting a house, it was literally a 3-bedroom house. And it was me staying there all alone. In fact, I was thinking to myself, I wish I would have brought my family, or could have been able to bring my family, but of course I was there to work. But I literally had a hammock. I was, I could throw a rock and hit the water of the ocean. It was absolutely gorgeous. And, that was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had, because I was literally on the beach, staying in this home. I was cooking all their meals, except for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and bringing it down to their home. And, coming back, and this wonderful lady, Alma, that I met, her husband, Antonio, and her Alma were basically the caretakers of the home that I was renting. And, she was kind of more the housekeeper. He was kind of more the maintenance guy. And I just ended up falling in love with them. I actually still talk to them to this day. They're just amazing people. And I mean, check this out. When I was staying there, she was telling me in Spanish, I speak Spanish. And she was like, chef, if you want me to cook for you, I could go buy the groceries and I can make you lunch and dinner or breakfast or whatever you'd like, and she would get done, at the day around 5:30, so she could cook dinner before she left. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I'm here to cook for my clients. And as part of the service of, them running me this house, I guess, she's able to provide me breakfast and lunch and dinner if I wanted to. So I ended up giving her some money, and she was making me enchiladas, and she was making me chilaquiles, and she was making me all types of really good stuff. She was making handmade tortillas for me. I mean, it was ridiculous. So here I am getting paid, I'm cooking for my clients, and I'm being treated like a king getting somebody cooking for me. And the reason why I wanted to kind of tell you guys and entertain you guys with these stories is that it's like, it's just been an amazing journey and an amazing experience to be able to work for myself and be a personal chef. And there's so many clients that are looking for great talent. And this particular client, of course, I'm not using any names because I want to make sure that I'm keeping it private for them. But, this particular client has offered me a full-time position to be their private chef. And I've turned him down every single time because I'm working for myself. I am able to be my own boss. And, if I would go work for him full time, then technically he's my boss, right? The family's hiring me full time. I'm not going to be able to do other events and other, have cooking engagements for other clients. So, I don't want to go down that route, which is what the difference between a personal chef and a private chef is. A private chef is usually a chef that's locked down to either a particular family or a particular group of people. A personal chef has different clients, many clients, and you're able to say no or yes to whatever clients you want. So, and that's what I am. I'm a personal chef. So he's offered me several times full-time employment, and I've turned him down. And, what's funny is maybe other chefs might think, man, you're crazy. He's offering you a 6-figure salary to work for a family of 5, full time, cooking them breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. But to be honest with you, I don't want to have a job. I don't want to have a job. I would rather be, contracted to do, daily rates and travel with them and do some really cool stuff. And they bring me up to Malibu just to cook in their house as well. So they pay me the same daily rate if I go up to Malibu as well. And it works out for everybody. But that's the difference between a personal chef and a private chef. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, man, that sounds like an exciting life. That sounds freaking amazing. And here I am, I'm slaving away over some stove, over in some restaurant, in some hotel that's not even appreciating me. And I'm barely even getting by financially. And this is why I want to bring this to the forefront, because I was debating on this podcast to talk about some of the things and some of the experiences I've had, because I don't like to, I'm not a braggadocious guy. I don't like to go around bragging. I don't have, this big head on my shoulders where I think I'm all that, because I really don't believe that. I'm not that kind of guy. But I started thinking about it, and I was even asking a couple of other chefs and saying, should I tell them some of these stories and some of these experiences I have? And he said, yeah, you should, because people need to see that there's opportunities like that are out there that are actually more reachable and grabbable, and you're able to grab more than you think. They're there. And so it's funny because this particular client, that all these experiences I've had to be able to travel with them literally internationally has been amazing. And it all came from me establishing a strategic partnership with this resort. And it's funny because when I go back to that resort and that hotel, they've asked me how have you been? And I'm like, yeah, I'm traveling with, so-and-so family. And they're like, are you serious? Like the ones you cooked for 2 years ago here? And I was like, yeah. So you never know when you're going to meet and get opportunities like that. And one thing that I've noticed, especially being your own boss and self-employed is that you will never find those opportunities unless you're out there playing the game on the field. You're never going to find these opportunities. And I have countless stories that I can tell you where I've seen some crazy stuff. Let's just say I've done bachelorette parties where I've seen body parts. Let's say, I could tell you that I've been in instances where I'm cooking for very wealthy clients in a rental house, here in San Diego, and, the lady and the gentleman are walking out in their underwear. I mean, I've seen everything that you can imagine, and it's pretty funny to say that because, I know that that's kind of quirky stuff, and it might be a little bit weird, but it's just been a lot of fun. It's been crazy. I've had some crazy experiences, amazing experiences. To be honest with you, I haven't really dealt with too many jerks or too many people that are really not nice people. And for the most part, literally every single client I had, they're just great, genuine people. They're looking for a good time. They're looking for a great experience by a chef, and they take care of you, and you get compensated for it. I mean, this coming weekend, I'm literally cooking for the creator of the Ninja Turtles, and I won't say their names. You can probably figure it out, but I've cooked for them several times, and they are incredible people. I mean, they are literally some of the nicest people I've ever cooked for, and it's just they treat me amazing. They respect, they respect me professionally, but we literally feel like family. We're very close. And, I pretty much get anything signed that I want. Any kind of Ninja Turtle material I want signed, I can have it signed. But I can go on and on. I've cooked for, different people. And again, I don't like to say that I've cooked for celebrities and so forth and so on, because again, I don't like to brag. But to be honest with you, I've had some amazing opportunities cooking for some very wealthy individuals and some amazing, celebrities and talents, meeting Adam Sandler. I mean, I've cooked for, quite a bit of people. So what I'm trying to say is, guys, is that the opportunity is awaiting you. The opportunity is awaiting you to be able to shift gears. And I wanted to give you guys a glimpse in kind of what a day or the life of a personal chef is. When I have an event, I'll kind of just walk you through what happens. Some people think, well, you're slamming out 12, 13-hour day, right, when you have an event. Wrong. Literally, I'll have an event. For instance, I have a dinner, coming up in a couple days, and it's a dinner for 5 people. It's a very small dinner, intimate dinner. And, they want to eat dinner at 6. Well, I usually arrive about 3 hours ahead of time to the home, right? So that puts me at 3 p.m. And it usually takes me, I just give myself about an hour and a half to shop for groceries and so forth and so on. So I'm literally leaving my house at 1:30. They want to eat at 6. I'll serve them dinner. I'll probably start cleaning up around 7. I'll be cleaned up by around 8 or 8:30. So all in all, I'm looking at a 7-hour workday, right? And this coming, dinner for 5 people, I'm going to make around $450 plus tip. So it's not that bad. And I'm trying to tell you this again. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm trying to tell you how you can actually make more money, realistically work less, and be able to experience things that you never experienced. Last year I did a dinner for some executives in Des Moines, Iowa, or in Iowa per se. And, I was able to shop at the farmer's market and just kind of go and enjoy the day and spend some, time in the sunlight. I'm able to shop for the ingredients I wanted to. Everything's superiorly fresh. And I was able to give them an amazing dinner that evening. And realistically, that's what my day consists of. I don't have to deal with politics. I don't have to deal with what's going on in the kitchen. I don't have to deal with some F&B director or some executive chef or some chef above me, basically strong-arming me, making me feel like an idiot, yelling at me or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that some of us, chefs and cooks out there, we sometimes deserve to be, kind of yelled at sometimes, right, when we do some bonehead stuff. But for the most part, I don't have to deal with any politics anymore. I literally don't have to deal with all the drama that comes in restaurants and hotels and work environments, especially in the kitchen. There's always so much politics going on. There's always so much drama, right? I mean, there's like gossip everywhere you turn. It's like somebody's always trying to backstab you. You're always having to watch your back. It's just a mess. And I don't miss it at all. There's been times that some of the properties that I'm partnered with here in San Diego, I used to work at. And so I'll come on kind of the hotel property. And there was one time that I was coming in to cook for some clients from Saudi Arabia. And I'm going to tell you what, these Saudi Arabian clients, they hire us every single year when they come in. And when I go there, they pay cash. I mean, they have literally envelopes of cash. They're extremely wealthy people. And, they're also very, very nice people. And, I'm coming onto the hotel property. I got my organic ingredients. I went to Whole Foods. I went to the farmer's market to find a couple things that I wanted specifically for the season. And, I roll up and I see one of the engineers on a golf cart, driving in the parking lot there in the hotel. And, I'm like, hey, how are you doing? I haven't seen him in a while. And I was talking to him and he's just going on and on and on about, ever since new management came in and we become a Fairmont hotel and, this and this and this, and they cut, they're cutting hours and they laid a bunch of people off and our benefits aren't as good. And then, my boss, he left and this new guy came in and he's horrible. He doesn't even know what he's doing and he's just going on and on and on. And you know what? I feel for him. And I know that's how it is in the kitchen because he was telling me like, yeah, Chef Dennis and different people, there's different things that are going on and not a lot of the cooks are happy, chef's not happy. There's things that are going on that are changing and they haven't gotten raises and, the story just keeps going on and on. And I told him, I said, man, I appreciate you telling me all this, brother, but I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm going to go cook for one family. They're going to pay me like $550 in cash to go cook for them right now in this beautiful villa on the hotel property. I'm going to clean up when I'm done and I'm going to leave. And I'm going to go home and I'm going to relax and enjoy the rest of my evening. Listen, you have the opportunity to have some really cool experiences like I've experienced. And again, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to just, be a showboat here because again, I just really want to stress that's not who I am. But I did feel like I wanted to share some of these really cool things that I've done with you. Because these are some great opportunities and experiences that you can actually have as a personal chef. And you're never going to be able to experience them if you're just sitting there. It will never happen. Again, like I've said before, you cannot win the game unless you're actually playing the game. You have to be on the field, right? You have to play the game. In order to score a touchdown, you have to be in the game. And if you're not in the game, you're never going to get these experiences. You're never even going to have the opportunity or chance to get these experiences. And I don't care where you live, whether you're listening in from the United States, or you're listening in from Canada or Australia or New Zealand or, in Asia somewhere, in Singapore, South America, it doesn't matter, the UK, it doesn't matter where you are. Wherever you choose to play the game, whenever you decide to step foot on the field, play the game, put yourself out there, start your own business, be your own boss, and doing it part-time. You could start this part-time. You never know where it leads you. You cook for one client and that client could, who knows, take you somewhere and give you this amazing experience. Because once people find value, because we deliver so much value, we deliver so much worth to their lives. And once they see that, trust me, they're your biggest fan and they're going to bring you everywhere and anywhere that they want, right? Like just like this client from Malibu, they fly me everywhere. And I get to fly privately. They put me up in great accommodations and I don't have to worry about a thing. And I'm just cooking and I'm cooking my heart out and I'm giving the best quality, food and making sure that they're eating the best of the best. And I'm preparing it to the best of my ability and I'm making really delicious food. But at the end of the day, it's like, that's what we all do anyway. But I'm able to do it on the beaches of Honolulu Bay in Hawaii. I'm able to do it off of a beautiful, ski home in Whistler, Canada. I'm able to do it off, some great beach house right there on the beach in Mexico, right there north of Ixtapa. I'm able to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania and go to the, Hershey theme park and see Pennsylvania and go to the farmer's market there. Man, that was a great experience. Just, I've never seen so many Amish farmer's market vendors. It was awesome. And like the produce and the quality of the eggs and the milk and the butter and everything that you get, man, it was just amazing products. Like, and I'm able to shop at that without looking at food cost, without having anybody tell me what to do and what ingredients to use. And I'm able to be as creative as I want. So anyway, I hope I was able to inspire you and also entertain you with some crazy stories. I have more stories and I might want to share more of those on another podcast, but I can share some funny stories with you and just some crazy stuff that I've seen. But you know what? I just wanted to inspire you a little bit. I wanted to entertain you a little bit and kind of give you a glimpse into what the day looks like and what the day looks like in being a personal chef and what kind of that life looks like, and that you can have these same experiences and opportunities that I've had, because I really truly believe that no matter where you are, what country you live in, no matter what state in the United States you live in, you might think like, oh, I live in a very small city, in somewhere in the Midwest, in the United States. It doesn't matter. People are looking for your services. And you know what? If you're out there, if you get on the game, if you play the game and you get on the field, they'll hire you. They'll find you. They'll hire you. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you again, guys, for tuning into this podcast. We are here to motivate, educate, and inspire chefs to take a leap of faith, start their own business, and create experiences they want to create with nothing holding them back. I truly believe the future is yours, and if you put it into your own hands, it's going to be spectacular and amazing for you, right? Hey, we have a free ebook that we're still giving away that I really want to make sure you guys take advantage of. So to get your free copy of the Chefpreneur ebook, I want you guys to visit ebook.chefpreneur program.com. That's ebook.chefpreneurprogram.com. Go ahead, visit that URL, sign up, get your copy of the free ebook. Also, you can find us on Facebook. We have an amazing Facebook group called the Chefpreneur Movement. So search on Facebook by, putting in the search box the Chefpreneur Movement. Join our Facebook group. If you're a chef that's really looking to actually start a business like that, and we're not trying to pressure you into doing anything, we just want you to join the community, be part of the movement, where we're just going to continue to give you tidbits and give you pieces of advice and make sure that you guys are connected to a community that's doing the same. So the Chefpreneur Movement, search that on Facebook. Also, you can take a look at our blog that we have. You can read our blog at the chefpreneurprogram.com/blog. That's chef, PRENEUR program.com/blog. So I hope to, see you guys again next week, and I hope you guys keep tuning in. Thank you so much again for your support, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Chefpreneur podcast, where we want to educate, motivate, and inspire as many chefs to become their own boss. Please subscribe to the podcast and join us every week to be part of the movement. To sign up for our free online training, visit becomeachefpreneur.com.